In this video, I'm going to try to answer the question, does apple cider vinegar break a fast? And you could pretty much extrapolate or apply this to any type of vinegar as well. So I'll talk a little bit about what's in this vinegar, what kind of health benefits can the vinegar potentially have, how it might impact your goals in short-term or long-term fasting. All right, so let's dive in. So first, a few of the potential health benefits of vinegar. So there's various research studies that show a little bit of health benefits in certain ways. And if you want to look at the specific studies that I'm kind of referencing, then check out the blog post. There's a link below. All right. So for example, I found one that shows that vinegar kind of lowers blood sugar after meals. So if you take it like with the meal or as part of the meal, vinegar helps increase glucose uptake into muscles. So it helps clear it out of your bloodstream potentially. And it also lowers morning blood sugar. I think that was when people took it the night before. It seems to help with fat loss in obese people and makes people feel more full or satiated after a meal. So there were various sizes and quality of studies showing those different things potentially. And that's about vinegar in general. It's not about apple cider vinegar per se, but pretty much vinegar is vinegar to an extent, because the main point of vinegar is it has the acetic acid, the water and acetic acid, and what it's made out of, I don't think it matters that much. But if you disagree, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know. So the next thing to think about is, I was talking about what's in the vinegar, and then you want to think about how that will affect your fasting goals. So specifically what's in apple cider vinegar is a tablespoon has about 3 calories and 0.1 grams of carbohydrates, no protein or fat. So that's a very, very small amount. So the big picture bottom line is that's not going to interfere much with pretty much any of your fasting goals. So that's kind of the good news. Let's walk through that just a little bit to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So if you're doing like short-term intermittent fasting, you might be trying to reduce body fat or kind of improve your blood sugar or insulin or maybe some other goals. So what if you're trying to reduce body fat? Well, the amount of energy in the vinegar is so small that it's just not going to really have much impact on how much body fat you're burning. So it shouldn't really be a problem. In fact, it may have some benefits, as I was alluding to earlier. Now, what if you're trying to do the fasting to improve your blood sugar, like a lot of people with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes who have blood sugar problems? Well, we talked about the carbohydrate content. It was 0.1 grams per tablespoon. So if you take a whole tablespoon, that's 1/10 of a gram of carbs. So it's very, 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 very little, not enough to matter. I mean, that's kind of the bottom line. A while back, I actually did a self-experiment because I'm a little crazy sometimes. And let's see, I was fasting. I guess I had fasted about 20 hours at that point. And then I went ahead and took, it was 1/4 of a cup of vinegar, of this apple cider vinegar. So that's 4 tablespoons. So that's 0.4 grams of carbs and about 12 calories. And I diluted it in water, of course, because it's very acidic. It kind of hurts your throat, can damage your throat and your teeth. So I'll keep that in mind in general. But so I checked my blood sugar at the beginning. It was 85. I checked my blood sugar 30 minutes later and it was 86, and an hour later and it was 81. So it never really went up, and it was actually lowest at the end for whatever reason. So that kind of corroborates what I'm saying, that using vinegar with fasting is not going to make it a problem if you're trying to improve your blood sugar. And the same thing would be true of insulin if you're trying to improve your insulin levels for all the same reasons. Now, what if you're trying to boost your ketone levels? Well, I've also done this same self-experiment more or less, though I don't have specific numbers to show you about that. But I took the vinegar and my ketone levels were still nice and high because it's such a small amount of energy and carbs, it's not really going to interfere with it. So it's not a big deal. If you're trying to get bowel rest during a short fast or a long fast, should you be taking a bunch of vinegar? Well, I would say, ideally no, I guess, but it's probably not a big deal anyway, because it's such a small amount of stuff to digest. There's so little digestion involved. But if you really, really want to get bowel rest, then just stick with mainly water and just electrolytes. So let's talk a little bit about prolonged fasting. There's a couple of unique benefits that come with that. For example, autophagy, where you get that cellular spring cleaning, or where you can kind of reset your immune system after like 4 or 5 days and potentially improve autoimmune symptoms. So is something like apple cider vinegar going to interfere with those more prolonged fasting type benefits? The answer is no one knows for sure, but probably not much. In other words, it's probably not going to interfere much or be much of a problem because it's such a small amount of energy and it has some other concurrent, potential benefits that it's just not something I would really worry about. So again, if you're going to use apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon once or twice a day or a couple tablespoons a couple times a day, that's kind of the ballpark amount maybe, but you got to make sure you dilute it because it's acidic, can damage your teeth, can damage your esophagus, stuff like that. And if you want to see another video where I talk about alcohol and fasting, that's kind of an interesting topic. You can find that right here where I kind of break down how alcoholic drinks fit in with fasting, if at all. And I've got another video here where I talk about a bunch of different potential drink options during fasting. So you can think about what else to maybe drink during fasting besides just vinegar or alcohol or whatever else you've been thinking about. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.